Back in our last video, we talked about how to use slope-intercept form. That was the form y equals mx plus b to understand lines. And now we're going to learn our second form of writing equations that are lines, and that is point-slope form. Point-slope form has the form y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. Once again, m is our slope, as always. In this case, x1, y1 is a point on the line. x1, y1 is a point on the line. Okay? So y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. Okay? So we're going to play around with that. And we're going to see some different ways we might use point-slope form. The first says, write an equation in point-slope form that passes through the given point with the given slope. Okay, well, this is pretty easy. Our point is 5, 9, so that is our x1 and our y1. Okay? Our slope m is negative 5. So we just have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Y minus y1 is going to be 9 equals m, which is negative 5, times x minus x1, which is 5. It's really that simple. Example 2. 5, 0 is our point. Our slope is 2/3. We've got y minus, I'm going to skip this step of writing it out, y minus y1, which is 0, equals m, which is 2/3, times x minus x1, which is 5. Now obviously the 0 is going to disappear. You're going to get y equals 2/3 times the quantity x minus 5. So it's that simple to write an equation in point-slope form given a point and given slope. Now think about the name point-slope form. The idea is you have a point and you have a slope, and that allows you to understand the line. Okay? Let's go down to this. It says graph each equation. Okay, when we're graphing equations using point-slope form, we're going to start by graphing the point. Then we're going to use the slope to plot 2 more points and connect our points to make a line. So our point is going to be, remember our equation, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay? So our point is going to be x1, y1. Well, this, it's y minus y1, so 2 is going to be y1, and then it's x minus x1. So this is going to be x1, but note that because it's a minus, this is going to be negative 1. So our point is negative 1, comma 2. Because x minus negative 1 will give you x plus 1. Y minus 2 will give you y minus 2. So we're going to plot that, negative 1, comma 2. There's negative 1, comma 2. Okay? Then we're going to use our slope. Our slope is 1/2. That means we go up 1 for every 2 we go over. We put a point. Up 1, 2 over. Put a point. We can draw a line through those points. Ta-da! We have our line. Okay? Let's look at example 2. Y plus 3 equals negative 3 times the quantity x minus 1. We're going to start with our point. Well, we know x1 is going to be 1. y1 is going to be negative 3 because we have y plus 3. Y minus negative 3 will give you y plus 3. So we need 1, comma, negative 3. That's our first point. Our slope is negative 3, right? Our slope is negative 3. So we're going to go from here, we're going to go down 3. 1, 2, 3. For every 1 we go over. Now, I've run out of graph space here, so I'm going to go up the other way. This going down 3 for every 1 you go to the right is the same as going up 3 for every 1 you go to the left. And that gives us a point at 0, 0. You can connect this like so. Okay? So here m is negative 3. Here m was 1/2. Okay? So that's how to graph equations that you're given in point-slope form. Finally, as far as the new notes go here, let's talk about how to write an equation of a line in point-slope form when we're given a specific graph. We're given a graph, okay? So I'm going to give you 2 graphs that I'm going to draw on here, okay? The first is going to go like so. So we need to start by identifying a point. The first step we do is we identify a point. Well, when I look at this, I see a point at I'm going to use a different color here. Make this pop a little bit. I see a point at 1, 1. Okay. Then, let's find the slope. Well, if I go up 2 and over 1, I get another point. Okay, so our slope, m, is plus 2 over plus 1, or 2. Okay, so then I can write out y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, or y minus y1 is 1, equals m, which is positive 2, times x minus x1, which is 1. There's our equation. Okay, the same thing could work over here. Okay, we have a line that goes like so. Okay, we can start by finding a point. This is easy because it goes through 0, 0. Then figure out what the slope is. Well, this is going to go down 3 for every 2 it goes over. So negative 3, positive 2, m equals negative 3 halves. Okay, so y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1 gives us y minus y1 is 0 equals negative 3 halves times x minus 0. And that actually simplifies to y equals negative 3 halves x. So that's how to write equations of a line in point-slope form when you're given a graph. Oh, let me make sure you can see that when you're given a graph. Now finally, we often want to convert lines into slope-intercept form. Why might we want to do that? Well, slope-intercept form is the easiest one to graph, generally speaking. And so we often want to convert from whatever form we're in, namely point-slope form, to slope-intercept form. So this is going to be a little bit of a challenge. It says, given 2 points, write the equation of a line in point-slope form, then convert to slope-intercept form. Quick reminder, our slope, m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, right over run. Point-slope form, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, and slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. What that means is, if we want to get any equation for a line into slope-intercept form, all we have to do is solve for y. Okay? All we have to do to go from point-slope form to slope-intercept form is solve for y. Okay? So let's practice this. Here it says, given the points 4, 6, and 5, 8, write the equation of a line in point-slope form, then convert it to slope-intercept form. Okay? Well, great. Let's start by finding our slope. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay? Look up here. This is x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay? So that gives us 8 minus 6 over 5 minus 4, which gives us 2 over 1. Our slope, m, is 2. Okay? So then we're going to plug this in to our point-slope formula, but I want to make a note that you can choose either point, either of the 2 points you're given for x1, y1. Any point on the line will work. So you can choose either of those points. Okay? So we've got y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. We're going to plug that in. Y minus. Now y1, we'll use these ones right here. Y1 is going to be 6. Y minus 6 equals m, which is 2. We found that above, times x minus, it was 4, 6, so 4. Now we have an equation in point-slope form, right? So how do we solve to get into slope-intercept form? We're just going to solve for y. So y minus 6 equals 2 times x minus 4. Okay, I'm going to solve for y. So first I'm going to distribute. I get y minus 6 equals 2x, 2 times x, minus 8. Add 6 to both sides, and we get y equals 2x minus 2. That is that same equation from above, just written into slope-intercept form. This would allow us to graph easily, because we can make a point at 0, negative 2 on the y-axis, and then we just have to add points with a slope of 2. So that's how we use point-slope form to understand and manipulate lines. Next time, we'll talk about standard form, which is our third and final form. Thanks.